All right, so today we're going to talk about triangle congruence and talk a little bit about this Indiana academic standard for triangle congruence, which states that we're going to use the four methods here. And then I want to point out just a little bit, it says, explain how the criteria for triangle congruence follow from the definition of congruence in terms of rigid motions. Well, that is crazy town. And rigid motions, really, that is when you're on a coordinate plane and you take, so if I draw a coordinate plane and you take a shape and then you translate it, you rotate it, you reflect it, whatever it is, but you keep the same size of all of the sides and all of the angles, that is congruent on the coordinate plane, and that's what we're talking about here. So what we're going to be asked to do is to determine if the two triangles are congruent. If they are, you're going to state which theorem you're using, whether it's angle, angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, or side, side, side. So it's important to know that S is for sides and A is for angle. All right, so in this one, if we start at 1 and go past to the other ones, we have an angle, a side, and an angle. Same thing over here. We have an angle, a side, and an angle. So this one is yes, it is congruent due to angle, side, angle. All right, this next one is a little tricky because we have an angle and we have a side, but we only have two things. So what's the other one? Well, that is this vertical angle right there. So that's a vertical angle from what we've learned in the past lessons. And vertical angles are congruent. Okay. Side note, congruent, that's the symbol for congruent. So like an equal sign, this is congruent to, is equal to. All right, so actually I make 2 marks here because that's a different angle than the one that they marked singly. All right, so now I have an angle, and a side. So if we go through this direction here, we have angle, angle, side. All right, sometimes it could be confusing, and this is one I think that is a little bit on which direction to go, but I think that helps. So here we would go angle, the next angle is there, and then the next side. So angle, angle, side. All right, so this is also a yes due to angle, angle, side. All right, this one here has 2 sides marked, but this shared side here, you can see right here, that one is also the same. So you would have yes due to side, side, side on this one because all 3 sides are the same. And then the last yes is going to be this one, which is side, angle, side, side, angle, side. So this would be yes, side, angle, side. And then an example of not enough information would be this one here, where we have vertical angles, but then that's it. We have nothing else marked, so we only have a vertical angle and a side, and that's not enough to prove congruence. So they may be congruent, but we don't have enough information to prove it. So it's not saying that they're not congruent, it's just saying we don't have enough information to determine that for certain. All right, so speaking of not having enough information, this next type of problem is where they're going to give you 2 congruent triangles and they're going to tell you how they're congruent. So this first example, they're congruent through angle, angle, side, but they're missing some information to make that true. So in this case, this is sharing a side, so this side here, and then you have an angle and a side. So really, you could actually go this direction or this direction and hit angle, angle, side, right? So you need to focus on angles M and N. Well, since this is a multiple choice question, we can actually use some test taking strategies to eliminate the not answers. And so anything that's a side is not the answer because what we have is we have an angle, then we're missing an angle, and we have a side. Okay, so this is going to be either angle N or angle M. That's going to go right there. Okay, so sides, and sides don't matter. So this answer is clearly C, and we can double check that because if we look here, the one in the middle, remember, is M, so they're using the correct one. They're using angle M, or it even says here we could use angle N. Okay, so they named them more specifically than just angle N and angle M, and that's cool. All right, so that would be the correct answer, C. Now for side, 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 well, we need sides, right? So we need this side here and this side here. That's the third side that we're missing. So that's side LJ and side, and so it's congruent to side CE. Okay, now this is angles and that one's angles. So it's either B or D, and D is the one that has the right answer, or the right letters, right? LJ and EC, CE, whatever, those are the same. All right, so this one is D. All right, so that is your assignment for today. Your lesson is to determine if two triangles are congruent through proof using those four determining methods. So good luck.